Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of One Piece. Oh yes, welcome back. Last episode we met a dog, and we want to eat the dog. We want to cook him and eat him because he is a pain in the butt. We got ourselves an epic fight against a giant lion with Moji. With Moji, I tried doing an Australian accent. It stunk. So I'm just gonna keep going. Keep going with that terrible Australian accent. I think I'm running out of various voices, especially when the crew gets bigger and bigger. It's gonna get crazier and crazier along the way. But we gotta keep up with this epic battle. With this epic battle going on with Buggy's gang. So let's not waste too much time and get started. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 13, Treasure. Ooh. Ooh. In the middle of town, the clouds fly through. Luffy just got up out of a deadly crash in which the house was broken. He received a loud scream from an old man. Luffy looked in the old man's direction. You're alive, kid. You're alive. How did you survive that? Dude, that was no big deal, Luffy said to the old man. Lamy immediately approached him and stood right before him, pointing out at the devastation of the house. But how? Your body demolishes a building and you walk away without a scratch? That's crazy. Dude, crazy's good. It's really cool. Why did you all come to this town anyway? The old man said. Why take on pirates? I just figured out why I'm here, dude. I'm after the map of the Grand Line and the navigator. What? Meanwhile, in another part of the town, in front of the pet food store, the dog stood right before the giant lion, barking at Moji. Moji, looking down at the dog, as towering above him, replies, quite right. What's with this dog? Does he think he can stop us from entering that store? One. So said the dog. You little mutt. Don't tell me you're guarding that crummy shop. Good. The lion growled, baring its fangs. And the dog bears its fangs as well. One. And the lion swipes with one swing, and the yell of the yipe caused the dog to flow back, and Cho crashes into the ground. He got back up and growled right back at the lion. And just as the lion took another swipe right there on the porch, Chow disappeared. Chow bared its fangs and continued on barking and had himself a quick flashback. Look, Chow, the store is all finished. You and me will make it prosper together. Why? And in the present, Chow chomped onto the ankle of the lion. The lion winced in pain, and with a single swing, threw Chow right into the glass and into the store. And that's why Wan laid down in pain, bleeding, glass falling onto him. He had another flashback. Business is awful slow. Why? And the old man approached him. Hey, having a rough time, eh? Fine, I'll buy some pet food to eat. To which the owner laughs out loud. You look like a dog, but I didn't know you ate like one too. Ha ha ha. You idiot. I'm just trying to help you out. Back in the present, Chow got up onto his feet, blood seeping out from the side of his belly. The lion continues to growl and approached him very slowly. Moji's turned to the dog in surprise. My oh my, mate. You don't know when to quit. Is your favorite food in here, doggy? And Chow flashes back once more. thinking of his owner resting in the hot spring. We sold 100 boxes today.
What?
Chow Chow, how many times I've told you not to eat the merchandise?
What?
Hey, that's the smartest, bravest dog in town, miss.
What?
Alright, Chow Chow, you're in charge of the shop while I'm in the hospital. Bo, 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 bo. And with all those memories flooded into Chow Chow, and the lines grown, snapped him out of his flashback, Chow Chow jumps at him.
What?
Meanwhile, in the other side of town, dude, Luffy said, looking back at the mayor and Nami, I'm going to look for Zolo. I better find him before that weird costume guy does. To which the mayor replies, don't talk crazy. Next time that lion will eat you alive. Meanwhile, the lion starts walking by, chomping on dog food. Moji stared at his injury, blood seeping out from the fangs that bit him. Stubborn dog bit my arm, Mike. I'm bleeding out. What kind of fool will pit a dog against me? Well, he'll never sell food again in this town again. Ain't that right, Mike? The lion roared as they walked through the town. And Luffy just, with hands in his pocket, walked around the corner and heard the sounds of whimpering.
What?
And there he saw the whole entire building in flames, completely engulfed high into the sky, black clouds covering all the blue sky. And all Chocho could do is just go,
What?
Luffy casually looks onward, wondering what's going on. Dude, this is Master's store, he thought to himself as Chocho kept wanting around. It's his treasure.
What?
Chow Chow continued on. And I think that Chow Chow still guards the store. Luffy continues on processing his thoughts, trying to put it all together like a puzzle.
What?
Said Chow Chow.
What?
Chow Chow said. Because Luffy thought, it's all that's left of his beloved master.
What?
In another part of town, Luffy stood in front of the giant lion emoji. Doom. What? You again, Mike? Didn't I just deal with you? You should be dead, Moji said, angered at the fact that Luffy's just standing there with his arms crossed in the middle of the street with a big smile on his face. It takes a little more to kill me, Luffy said. I'm a rubber man. Rubber man, Mike? You've got that devil's own luck, boy, the emoji said. But that hit must have scrambled your brains. You'd have to be crazy. The lion roared. To tangle with me again? Richie bought his head off, and Richie jumped off with a large growl, his fangs bared, his mouth wide open, enough for a fly to fly into. He was given one simple command. Kill, Mike. And Luffy does a JoJo pose. It'll take more than that lion did to kill me. Luffy wraps his arm around in a coiled spring, his hand stretched out as if he's gonna throw a Hadouken. Mike, what are you doing with your arms? How can you? And suddenly, Luffy's arms grab Richie's mouth and immediately closed his jaws shut. Suddenly closed his jaws shut. And he started spinning, and his arms began spinning, causing Richie to turn in a spiral with centrifugal force. Gum gum. And Luffy flips Richie over headfirst onto the ground. Gavel. And Richie was laid out. Richie! Moji screamed down as he saw his poor lion head drilled into the ground, his feet sticking up into the sky. Not a sound come out. To which Richie screams out, What are you, freak? Luffy's reply, Luffy replied, "Long time ago, dude. I ate the fruit of the gum gum tree." "What?" Moji said. "The gum gum tree? You ate the devil's fruit, mate? Like Captain Buggy?" Okay. Moji raised his hands up in fear. "I'll give you all the gold you want, mate. Just let me apologize and go alive." "It's too late for apologies, dude," Luffy said with his eyes lowered and the shadow veiled over his forehead. That won't bring back the dog's treasure, dude." "That's why I came." Luffy's face scowled at him, veins popping out, his teeth gritted in pure rage. "To clobber you, dude." "Why, mate?" Moji said in absolute fear. "You stretching again, mate?" "Yeah, dude, take this." "No, please." Luffy's hand stretched out and clutched the collar of Moji and pulls him in close. "Mate, help me!" And suddenly, Luffy's punch delivered right into his face, blood splurting out of his nose and cheek, high into the sky like a geyser, and he was laid out on the ground. Back at the pet shop, smoldering, completing pile of ash and rubble, Chow stared out at it, quiet and silent, the scent of burnt wood wafting into his nose. And he just kept quiet, as Nami and the mayor watched on in sadness.
"Ah, pirates,"
Nami said with anger.
"they're all the same.
"Yeah, just take away."
They just take away what's more precious than love."
The mayor grumbled. "Huh?" Luffy said, arriving at the site, watching the other two looking back at him.
"Oh, you're still alive. I was hoping that lion would eat you.
"Hey, what the?"
I have to kill you right now before you can get away, get a canoe and go pillage some town."
Nami yelled at him, being restrained by the mayor as he got hit in the head. "Now simmer down." "Huh? You don't stand a chance to get me, bleh." Luffy stuck his tongue out, angering Nami even more.
"Huh? Then let's have it out right now."
Nami screamed out, her teeth the fang of sharks.
"Heartless pirate."
Luffy walked away, ignoring everything she said, and the old man tried to calm her down.
"What's wrong with you?" "I'm old. I can't hold you down."
And suddenly, a box of pet food plopped right in front of Cho. The dog wondered, and there was Luffy, standing right with him.
"Hey!"
Nami screamed out as the mayor continued to restrain her. Luffy sat next to the dog with a big smile on his face, hands on his knees. All he could say is, "That's all I can say for you, boy. The rest got eaten or burned." Nami was shocked. She couldn't believe what she saw.
"He fought that lion, and for the dog's sake,"
as she stared at the busted pet food. Luffy continued speaking to Cho. "You did good, dude. You fought well. Very good for food. I want you on my team. I didn't get to see you in action, but I know you did good. Look at that. You got strong muscles. You definitely will make food while we journey to the Grand Line."
"One."
And Chow grabbed the food and just started walking away. He looked back. And with a big smile on his face, he goes, one more time." "Thanks," Luffy said. "Good luck to you, too." His smile beamed and his eyes were full of lightning.
One.
The dog smiled and whuffed back. Nami started thinking. Meanwhile, back at Buggy's hideout. "Well, Moji was defeated, eh?"
"That's right, Captain."
"Ready, my Buggy balls. Tea time's over, kiddies." "We're gonna light this town up until there's nothing left but a happy meal." To be continued. One Piece, Chapter 13. Treasure. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. Chapter 14. Reckless. At Buggy's hideout, Moji returned to Buggy defeated. He stood and kneeled before him. Poor Richie the lion laid out, still unable to wake up from the pain of his fight with Luffy.
Alright, first mate Moji's back,
said one of the crew.
Sorry, Captain. The kid, Captain Buggy,
Moji said, beaten, full of bruises, on his knees with one hand on the floor.
I've got to tell him that the kid is a rubber man, mate.
Well, the kid in the straw hat beat you? And not Solo? Interesting. It makes me angry. Moji struggled to stay up.
The kid, mate, underestimated him. Got to tell him, he thought to himself. Captain, sir, beware the rub man.
And Moji collapsed and completely unconsciousness. The crew stood in shock, wondering what he's saying.
What did he say?
Moji was trying to tell him something.
You barely stand. Must have been important. Beware the rub. Is that something about the ribs?
Nah, what kind of rub could that mean? Could do that to a man.
Maybe not the ribs, but that boy must have used some diabolical rubbing machine on him.
Buggy assumed.
The skipper's got it,
said one of the crew.
Darn you, Moji. Be mine, monsieur. If this gets out, our reputation's skittled. And where is the joke in that? Load the buggy balls, you swabs. We've got a town to destroy.
Aye, Captain.
Rubber man, mate,
said Moji, laying in pain and struggling to move an inch of his muscle. Meanwhile, outside of town, at a bridge, the refuge of the townspeople, watching, wondering what is going on out there, all gathered around, seeing Chow Chow crossing the bridge.
Hey, what's that? It's Chow Chow from the pet food shop.
We're glad you're okay, boy.
We're worried about you.
It's Chow Chow,
the child said. The townspeople taking care of him, watching over him. Arms crossed. A guy with glasses kneeling next to him with a nice pat.
He's hurt bad, cursed pirates,
said another villager.
Let's take care of his wounds.
To which the bald old man approached him and asked,
Where's the mayor?
And the whole crowd murmured. Murmur. That's right. Mayor Boodle went to feed Cho-Cho. What's Cho-Cho doing here without him? He said. And the townspeople became shocked and scared and went back into murmur.
You don't think something happened to the mayor?
Lady said.
This isn't good.
The man with a ponytail said, I'll go find him.
No. Now don't go run off half-cocked. The mayor's too clever to let himself get captured,
the bald man said to the ponytailed man.
He knows this town better than anyone. But he also cares about the town more than anyone else. Maybe too much,
he said as he reminisced his flashback.
Don't take on any unnecessary risks now, Mayor. What matters is that we're all safe. As long as we all survive, we can rebuild this town.
I know. I'm just gonna go feed Chow Chow. Now, leave me with my senility.
I warned him not to take any risk. I just hope he heard me.
Meanwhile, back at town, Luffy sat on the ground as the mayor watched on, and Nami approached him.
Sorry I yelled at you,
Nami said with a smile, her hand up, assuring that she's calmed in peace.
Huh?
Luffy looked back up. He stood up to his feet, brushed the dust off his shorts, and said,
That's okay, dude. I know you lost someone to pirates. I understand. Not that I want to hear the details or anything. It's just too traumatizing.
Nami said.
Grrr.
The mayor's growled in anger.
I can't stand it no more. It's all like a stench. Huh?
Nami looked back in shock.
It's all I can stand. I can't stand anymore. They grew bullying. Not after Wade Charge on this kid for a backshow Bailey. What kind of mayor stands back and watches his town destroyed?
The mayor clutched his fist, crouching to the ground, his face staring at the dirt, wondering, feeling his shame.
Mayor, please calm down.
Nami pleaded, but the mayor didn't listen to her. He was lost in his own anger and rage.
Sometimes a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, even with a bad back. Isn't that right, Sonny?
To which Luffy smiled with a large grin on his face and his eyes focused. That's right, dude. You said it, old man. You're awesome. To which Nami leans into Luffy with pure anger.
Don't encourage him. 40 years of hard work. 40 years of hard work.
The mayor continued screaming. Meanwhile, back at the refuge. Oh, his flashback at the refuge.
This place was a wilderness when we got here.
We'll build our town right here, his younger self said to the townsfolk. We'll forget our old town that the pirates destroyed, he said to all of them, with eyes wide, beaming with pride and future in their sights. Meanwhile, back in the present, Nami and Luffy listened on as he continued his flashback.
At first, it was just a few homes.
As he reminisced, everyone swinging their hoes to create agriculture.
But slowly our numbers grew.
New children were born and fish were caught in large nets.
We worked hard, cleared the land. Over time, people came and opened up shops.
The mayor's younger self building houses with the townsfolk, showing his camaraderie and flexing his biceps with his fellow townsfolk.
And now look at us. We're a thriving port. We old timers built this town from nothing. Ta-da! It's our life's work.
His arms wide open at all the houses that remained. Luffy and Nami remained silent, listening on to his anger.
This town, this people are my treasure.
He raised his spear high up into the air, with his mouth gaped open for a fly to enter into.
I'd be a sorry use of a mayor if I didn't try to protect the town. I'm going to fight.
To which, out of nowhere, Buggy yells, "Fire the buggy ball!" And the buggy ball flashed through the entire town, crumbling it into pieces. All of it bent like rubber, collapsing before all their eyes. It flew through the air, the shock wave, sending debris all over the place. Nami, Luffy, and the mayor fell down to the ground, and Nami looked up as she watched the entire all the buildings fall in place. The mayor said, looking in horror.
Mouse, it's ruined.
Luffy's response: "Hey, dude, Solo was sleeping in there." And as the smoke filtered up into the sky, there was nothing but debris.
Could the kid with the belly band have survived that?
The old man said. "Hey, Solo," Luffy yelled down at the debris. "Are you still alive?" "Huh?" And there he was, as the clouds parted, sitting on the floor, was Zolo, going, "That's one heck of an alarm clock. Oh, did I drink last night? Hey, dude, you're alive."
How could anyone live through that?
Nami said. The mayor grabbed his heart, feeling the ticker kicking in.
That tears it.
"Mayor, dude," Luffy said as he looked back at the mayor, and Solo slowly gets himself up on his feet. Nami approaches the old man slowly.
I can't take it anymore,
the old man said.
I won't lose a second down to these sea rats. These pirates show up. They walk all over my lawn. They could do as they please. I won't let them wreck 40 years of hard work. I am the mayor. I won't take this in now.
His heart pumping so hard, he could feel the ticker slowly kicking in and the cholesterol rising.
It's time to fight.
Maya, wait, please.
Let me go, girlie. You're not gonna stop me.
Getting yourself killed won't accomplish anything. You're being reckless.
I know I'm being reckless. It's my town. It's my grass. It's my lawn.
Nami, Luffy, Solo just stood in shock at his pure, fearless rage, tears falling down. The stress and frustration overwhelmed his critical thinking, and he runs off.
Buggy, prepare to face the mayor.
He ran with high speed.
The mayor, he was crying.
It didn't look that way to me. I saw determination. Things are finally getting to get fun, huh? Yeah, dude. Luffy said with a big smile, in response to Zolo's smile. To which Nami showed anger.
This is no matter.
Don't worry. I like that old man. He's total awesome. I won't let him get killed.
And how can you just stand there laughing? What do you get out of this anyway?
Nami said. We're headed for the Grand Line, dude. Luffy said with a smile. We'll steal that map back, and then we can go together. Join up with us, Luffy said with his arm outreached, offering Nami again to join them. You want the map? And all that treasure, right, dude?
I don't want to become a pirate,
Nami said, but she slapped his hand anyway.
Let's just say we'll join forces. We'll work together for the common goal,
she said with a smile. Meanwhile, back at Buggy's hideout. Now, for the second salvo. To which his crew screams, Captain! Aim for Buggy! The old man screamed out from outside, standing before the drinkers' pub, looking at them at the top of the roof. Get out here now! The old man screamed out, spear in hand, ready, standing in a JoJo pose, ready to fight. Who dares to break up my little joke? Buggy said. And there stood the mayor, in pure rage, ready to throw down. Meanwhile, back at the devastation.
You can't talk. What about your wounds?
Nami said, looking at Zolo, walking with no trouble at all. They got better, he said.
That's impossible.
Clearly don't know me. Luffy looked back, wondering what the heck they're talking about. Solo puts on his bandana and tightens it. I'm worried about my reputation than my guts right now. I've got a score to settle. Let's do it. Right, dude. I can't wait. Luffy said, cracking his knuckles with a big smile on his face. Solo walking right behind him, swords in hand.
You two are crazy,
Nami said, slapping her forehead. To be continued. One Piece, Chapter 14, by Ichiro Oda. All right, for the review. This was good. This was good. That was a good fight they had with Chocho between Richie and Chocho. I was shocked that they gave the dog a flashback. That's funny. But this was a pretty brutal fight, all things considered. And we got some backstory. So I still don't know if this was really necessary for the whole plot, but I'm hoping Chocho became part of Luffy's pirates. I really hope he did, quite honestly, because then it's like, why did this happen? I mean, I know it's to show that Buggy is the bad guy, or at least Richie and Moji, but I don't know. This feels more like filler at this point. But this is still the early stages of One Piece, so saying Eiichiro Oda was just finding his ground, finding his voice. You could be forgiving about that, and it shows. It shows, but still, this whole thing dedicated to Chocho rather than the townspeople is it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. But I guess in a way, since this was his early stages of writing One Piece, um, I guess he wanted to keep it simple. I'm just trying to think from a narrative standpoint here, the direction he was trying to go with, since especially since he has to draw it and everything, and this is his first go, his first years. He probably wanted to keep it simple and not have to worry about drawing so many people, including civilians. So that's why he went with the animals, and probably because he also wanted to show how he could draw animals too. I'm not sure what his motivation is. I'll have to do some further research, which probably will never happen. But nevertheless, this was pretty cool to see. Very good use of the fire. I mean, look, that's very well done. He didn't overdo it, and good use of putting foosh, so he wouldn't have to draw the whole thing out. Smart technique there. Smart technique. I'm still find it. I still find it funny that Luffy's just standing there at the bottom right, like, oh, that happened. My man is trying to understand doggies here. He's trying to learn canine. Put it all together, which was pretty cool. And then we got a new attack, the Gum Gum Spiral. I would have liked to have seen that in the live action. This looked pretty good. Looks like he's doing a Hadouken. Pretty devastating move. I mean, he just Gum Gum Gavel, sorry, Gavel, and just slammed the freaking lion into the ground. But this was well done, though. The Gum Gum Gavel, how he was able to detail the spin and then clutching Richie's face there, and then doing the spin off and closing it with that very nice sequence. Very well done. I can't wait to see more of Luffy's attacks, man. I love the diversity of his attacks. He's got an answer. It's almost like he's got an answer to everything, basically. And this was this was an excellent drawing of him punching Moji. I like that. Say good use of the lines there to really show the impact and the flow of the punch. Like you could, like the movement and everything. He didn't just phone it in and let it stay still. He just showed that there was movement involved, and that was pretty cool. And so yeah, and basically closed out Chocho's storyline. So I really hope Chocho did join the pirate crew in the manga, because that would be cool. He fights. I like Chocho fights and fights real hard. I really like that he just sits there quietly. It's like he just made a camaraderie with Luffy here at the end. So I'm hoping to see more Chocho. I hope I see more Chocho. So as for chapter 14, there we go. Let's jump in on that one. As for chapter 14, the fight is going on for a little longer. This is a very good, straightforward arc. Very straightforward, very simple. Get back to Buggy and elaborate teeth here on this panel. That's a lot of teeth they're showing. Like he really didn't hold back on the lines there. But now we get to see what happens when Buggy gets really, really angry, especially since, funnily enough, Moji couldn't clue in. We finally found out where the townspeople is, and I gotta say, I think the live action, because I've seen the live action, so I think the live action is way better than what's presented here. The townspeople are okay, apparently, unlike what Buggy did in... Buggy's just destroying the town and just having his way, which is understandable given the long pacing of the manga. I mean, we're talking 1,000 chapters here, so this is probably... It's not even a pacing issue or anything. Saying we finally found out the fate of the town. They all ended up in a refuge, unlike the live action. But I think the live action did better by having the townspeople captured and being shackled in a circus tent. it really shows that Buggy truly is a menacing villain. Until the later parts of the live action, we saw his fate. But here it's just showing pirate antics, and that Buggy could really go all out without hesitation when things don't go his way. So it's a good characterization of Buggy here, showing a little bit more depth compared to the more compactness and the expediency of the live action. But with regards to the manga itself, the townspeople really have good, a very good law-abiding citizens. I'm sure they got their hiccups and everything, but they're depicted here in a positive manner. So it does show that Buggy truly is a monster. But most importantly, it does show that that they still have their heads on their shoulders, and they know that Buggy's not one to trifle with. And for the mayor to go in to get Cho, really angered one of them, probably his best friend from what we've seen in the flashback. But yeah, we see the whole rage and everything because of everything he went through. Him and the townspeople building this whole entire port town and make it thriving and everything, when otherwise it wouldn't be possible. So yeah, this whole entire chapter is dedicated to this raging anger, and I gotta say, Eiichiro Oda knows how to cut corners. He knows how to cut corners. My man's like, I am not gonna draw every little detail of this whole entire blast zone. I'm just gonna put kaboom across the whole thing here. Put kaboom across this whole thing here, and just draw a little bit. My man's like, I am not Rentaro, I am not Miura-san and Berserk. I'm not there yet. But still, this was that was a good way. That was a good way. To for him to not overdo it. With him and whatever team he has on his side. It's still nicely detailed. Like, you can see the window panes being, you can see the shards of glass. In fact, this shard of glass here on the lower left, if you look at some of this, they're see-through. They're very see-through, and you can see the wood and the plank, so it's glass. So that's some crazy level of detail he put into that, into just that little part there of the whole destruction. This wasn't too difficult to tell who's who here, but again, he shortcut. He shortcut this little action panel there, which is pretty funny. It's pretty funny. He's like really exploiting the large text there for the action stuff, and of course we got Zolo back in action, and. Yeah, basically all this was dedicated to was just the mayor being angry and mad and getting ready to attack, and we got a very Berserk style art here with the mayor at the bottom. But nevertheless, this was just getting to give us understanding of why the mayor decided to run up there, and that's okay. That's good for storytelling. And really, it's not a building of stakes. It's more like a building of understanding why we have this part happening here. Very well explained. No, it's not over exposited, and it flows very well in conjunction with his rage, to allow us to truly have the insight of where this is coming from and where we're being led to, which is hopefully the final battle with Buggy and the close of this arc. I'm hoping that doesn't stretch out for another 20 chapters. Want to move on. So that's One Piece in a nutshell. All right. So thank you all for joining me. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe down below. Hit up the Patreon if you really enjoy watching me read manga. Patreon poll is up for you to choose which manga you would like for me to read. So don't hesitate. And with all that said, I wish you all a good night, a buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.